We'd like to welcome everybody out to our city council meeting this evening, and especially the young people. We're so excited that you're here, and we'll get to you in just a few minutes. But the rest of you, we're grateful you're here, and I hope that you'll find this to be educational and informative, and it's good to be able to witness and be a part of how government works. So with that, I've asked Council Member Jeff Holt if he'd lead us in the word in a word of prayer, and then I've asked Jenna Rawlinson, right? Jenna Rawlinson is going to,
Nelson.
Jenna Nelson, I'm sorry. Jenna Nelson is going to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, and she's going to come up here until we need to listen really hard to her, okay? With that, go ahead.
Lord, we thank you for this opportunity to gather with the city council, the city staff, and the public to help make this community even better. We ask that you guide us in this effort now and always, and that you help direct us to make this community ever improved and doing well for all our citizens. And we say these things in the name of thy Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Okay, Jenna.
Repeat the pledge with me.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, since we have so many young people here today and a lot of new faces, I think I'll go around and just kind of introduce everybody to you so you know who we are. Over here to my left is our city manager, Mark Christensen, over here, and then council member Jeff Holt. These are all council members, Blair Westergaard, Lyle Vance, myself, Lyle Holmgreen, I'm the mayor, and Brett Rohde over here, and Wes Eastep. Then we have our recorder, Lindsay Nesson, and we've got our financial consultant, financial guru, Curtis Christensen.
Roberts.
I'm all messed up today, aren't I? I'm sorry, Curtis Roberts. I've known that forever. I don't know why, because I know a Curtis Christensen, I guess. That must have been it. Paul Fulgham, Paul's been here.
He's there.
He's back there in the back. Dustin Cordova, our police chief. Brady Hanson, our fire chief. Sarah Mormon, our Main Street manager. And, of course, all of you students. And I don't think I missed anybody, did I? I think I got everybody. How about our principals? Do we have any principals here today? I just want to mention our principals anyway. Our Dave Cedarholm, who is a principal of North Park. Jacob Balls is a principal of McKinley, and Jeremy Webb, our Alice C. Harris principal. And I just wanted to mention them because it's through their leadership and everything that they encourage the kind of behavior that we're going to recognize tonight. And so, I don't know if Connie Archibald, are you still here?
Connie's outside, I believe.
This is, okay, these citizenship awards were sort of the brainchild of Wes and Connie. And I wanted to go through and take just a little bit of time and talk about why we're giving these awards. The reason we do it is your principals have identified you for three things: that you're respectful, that you're responsible, and that you're safe. And let's just talk about that for just a minute. What does it mean to be respectful? Does it mean to be kind? You know, I think if each one of you think about some time when somebody was kind to you and said something nice to you, how did that make you feel? Responsible? What does it mean to be responsible? Responsible means that you're doing your homework on time, or that you're doing what you promise that you promise your teacher or your friend that you're going to do something, and you actually do it, or if you promise your parents that that you're going to do something for them, a chore, and you do it, that's being responsible. And to be safe, you're following the school rules. And the reason why we have school rules is to keep everybody safe, isn't it? And maybe you're not bullying and being mean to somebody. Anyway, those are kind of the things that I think all of us in the city we all need to do that as well. We all need to be respectful, and we all need to be responsible and to be safe. And that goes for us as adults as well. So with that, we're going to give out the awards.
You got,
I'm going to ask Connie to come forward because this is sort of her, she's
are you
here
going by
today.
the agenda, Mayor? Are you gonna skip to that, or?
Yeah,
You're just kind of.
I'm going rogue on this, but go ahead and just have a seat over there, Connie. I'm going
do that
totally
first.
rogue. All right. With that, council, let's go to item number 3, a declaration of conflict of interest. We've all had a chance to review the agenda. And are there any conflicts with the agenda tonight, council? Approval of the agenda.
Make a motion, we approve the agenda as written.
I second it.
A motion by Wes and seconded by Lyle Vance. All in favor?
Aye.
Approval of the minutes from April 2nd, 2024.
Mayor, I have 3 grammatical amendments to offer.
Okay.
On image 4, which is page 1 of the minutes, and down toward the bottom, well, there's one up toward the top. Let me go higher. The first paragraph after city council workshop. Right there, actually toward the top of your screen, that line that says Chief Brady Hanson and downtown manager. Sarah Mormon, shouldn't downtown manager be Main Street manager?
I think that we should make that change. Yeah, Main Street manager is more correct.
Okay. And then we have one toward the bottom of that page, third line from the bottom. It says they're parking long between Key Bank. Should that be parking lot?
Yes.
And one other one on image 7, which is page 4 of the minutes. And go up a little bit, right there. That first paragraph, last line, once again, you have downtown manager and should be Main Street manager. And that's all I have to offer, sir.
Would you like to make a motion?
I would make a motion that we approve the minutes with those amendments.
I'll second it.
A motion by Councilmember Holt and seconded by Brett. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you. I'm still reeling from going rogue there for a minute. Okay, let's see. Years of service. Jason, are you here? Jason Thompson?
Paul still got something to read about him.
Paul will tell you about Jason.
Okay, Jason. All right, Paul, go ahead. Let's see. Do you have the? Here we go.
You want me to give that to him?
Yeah.
So Jason's been with us 20 years. He's our superintendent, more or less, over the water, sewer collection. The water includes culinary and secondary, storm drain. Those are his responsibilities. Probably, you asked some questions on what's your favorite project, and I think he's been excited more about the secondary because of what it's done for the culinary water. I mean, we know we struggled in the summertime because, 70% of our water production goes on lawns, and so that means you really tax your tanks with water coming off. I mean, 4 million gallons a day going in and out of your tanks. He's a family man. He has 3 boys, I think it is, if I remember right. And he likes to take them out hunting and camping and doing fun things like that. And Jason's been a good employee. He's got his certifications and worked himself up to where he's at right now. So he's been a good 20-year employee.
Thank you. And Cynthia,
I got it.
you're going to take care of that one? Perfect. Come on up, Cynthia.
Threaten me, I have 30 seconds. She doesn't, oh, sorry, 20. She doesn't want to be up here any longer than that. Cynthia is amazing, as most of you know. She's worked for the city for 15 years now, started out as the janitor and has worked her way up to, started part-time accounts payable, then full-time accounts payable deputy recorder. She helps a lot behind the scenes with the budget, with audits, with all of the above, so couldn't do my job without her, so. Some things about her, she has 3 children and 4 grandchildren. They are the best. I'm holding on to that. That's why I have kids, right? So I can have grandkids someday. I love spending time with my family. Some of the questions she answered were, if she could only eat 1 meal every day for the rest of her life, what would it be? I thought it was going to be glazed donuts. Oh, It's not.
That would
She
be
put it would be
processed.
nachos.
Wouldn't be healthy.
And then number 4, what do you do in your spare time? She says she likes to try new things, which is 100% true. She's always, I'm going to go learn how to do that. You hire people to do that, Cynthia? No, I'm going to go learn how to do it. Okay. So she likes to do lots of things, crafts, crocheting, and painting. She's just been learning how to quilt by piecing. It has been fun, and she's hoping to have her first quilt done by this fall. And then what's her favorite part about working for Tremont City is the amazing people I get to work with. We have wonderful employees, and they make going to work fun. So, thank you. That was longer than 20 seconds, sorry.
Okay, I have something for you then.
Oh, geez.
It's International Institute Municipal Clerks Recorders Week, so I just have a little thing for Lindsay. I don't know if we did a proclamation this year, but she's amazing and does so much for everybody in the city. If anybody needs something, we just say, oh, Lindsay can do that. She knows IT, she knows the election, she knows, yeah, so she's amazing. We wouldn't function without her, so I appreciate it.
We appreciate our employees so very much. Without them, a lot of them are doing above and beyond the call of duty, and they just make this city work, and we appreciate so much each and every one of them. With that, we'll go right into the presentation of the Citizenship Awards. And what I was going to do, since Connie was sort of the one of the instigators on getting this going, I'm going to have her come up and help me give out the awards this time. So, Connie? So when I call your name, we got a little treat for you.
Trying to give me the LC. I know they're here, even though they didn't send us their names.
Oh, okay.
It's one of them. Okay, you can go.
All right. Let's see. Brinley Palmer, are you here? There she is.
You're amazing. Thank you so much. Come over here. Can you stand right here? You stand right here.
Nolan Dove. Henley Nessen. Gavin Palmer. Jackson Christensen. Branson Hawks.
Congratulations. Thank you so much. Come
Tyson
over here.
Larson. Or Ty Larson. I should say Ty.
Thank you, Ty. You're amazing. Come over here.
Elise Barker.
see.
Isaac and Lena. Parley Bulkett.
Thank you for being such a great.
Parley. Jenna Nielsen. We all know Jenna. Everyone right? And Caleb Jensen. And we'll make sure Parley and Jackson get their certificates. I want to
Mayor,
thank,
did we miss anybody?
did we miss anybody?
That's slipped through the cracks a couple of times.
We don't want to miss anybody. We'll make sure that Jackson and Parley get their certificates, and we want to thank the parents for doing such a great job of raising these young people. Thank you. Oh, yeah, can't forget that. How about if I stand right in front of you?
We'll have plenty of time to take pictures and
Everyone needs to squeeze together. You like each other. Smile now. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Caleb.
remember them moments when they're teenagers. Oh, I wish you would cry and want mommy.
Thank you. Thanks, everybody.
Linda, I'll email this to you. Perfect, thank you. Hey, do you want to write them down? Because I just hand wrote them in. I don't know if they want, unless they bring it and ask for it. Okay. Oh, I guess that's true. Okay. I just decided to get started. Okay.
All right, we'll start our next, item number 8 is our public comment period. This is an opportunity for you to address the city council regarding your comments or ideas, and we're asking you to keep your comments to 3 minutes or under. The time is now yours.
Okay, my name is Ryan Merrill. So the comment I had today, so unfortunately I procrastinated reviewing the budget before this meeting, so I wasn't able to go over it. But when I looked before this meeting, I realized that it wasn't online at all, that we had to come in person to be able to see it. Is that a possibility at all to post the tentative budget online on the city website in the future? That would just make it a lot easier for me and others to review. But-
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, we could post it. Okay. We could maybe do like a financial page or something online that posts our current budget and then maybe next year's tentative budget. Okay, that would be very helpful. Thank you.
Mark, can the public access the city council packet?
Yeah, it is online. It's kind of hidden a little bit, but this is kind of, if you go to our main webpage, Lindsay will pull it up, and you scroll down to the bottom, it's kind of in the small print at the bottom, there's a place called City Council Packets. And that will be posted every Friday before city council meetings. And it has everything that our city council reviews for the,
Can you go back one more page? Because there's a bunch that are missing.
I put some of them back on this year's works. Our website ran out of room.
Okay. I just looked the other day and there were some missing.
Back on. I can go back though and see.
Make sure that they're all there.
I could go back and check and see if they're on there or not, but I know there were some missing that I added back on.
Okay, thank you.
But the current packet will always be right there.
That's all public information, so anybody can look those packets up and see everything that we're looking at. There's no hidden agenda or anything. It's all out there for everybody to see.
Okay, public comment period is complete. A public hearing, there's a difference between public comment and public hearing. Public hearing are specifically for certain, like we're going to be talking about the tentative budget. So what I'll do is I'll just read it. It's very specific, so I'll read it word for word. Public hearing to consider adopting the tentative annual budget entitled the Tremonton City Annual Implementation Budget 2024 to 2025. The general fund, capital funds, enterprise funds, and special funds for the period commencing July 1, 2024 and ending June 30, 2025. Public hearing is now open. We have to do it on each item, so there will be another public hearing on item B. Okay. Item number B, public hearing to consider approving compensation increases for executive municipal officers as contained in the tentative annual budget entitled the Tremonton City Annual Implementation Budget 2024 to 2025, general fund, capital funds, enterprise funds, and special funds for the period commencing July 1, 2024 and ending June 30, 2025. Public hearing is now open. Okay. With that, public hearing is now closed for the items A and B. New council business, discussion and consideration of adopting resolution number 2423, adopting the tentative annual budget entitled the Tremonton City Annual Implementation Budget 2024 to 2025, general fund, capital funds, enterprise funds, and special funds for the period commencing July 1, 24 and ending June 30, 25. Council, we've been through almost an hour and a half talking about the budget. Are there any, so for the public, we've been through this. If there's at length about the budget, are there any other questions, council, that you want to bring up about the budget? Yes, Jeff.
I do have a couple more questions. First of all, in the classification document, Tremonton City Classification and Compensation Plan, it changes the pay ranges for 3 of the leadership positions. I'll say the Parks and Recreation Director, Treasurer Billing Lead, and City Recorder. Can you give us some background on that?
Yeah, as we looked at the classification ranges, and that will be item B, but it's included in, well, it'll be part of, mostly the item B is for the police scale. But when we were looking at the duties and responsibilities of the ones in level C-1 as compared to the duties and responsibilities to those three department leads, we felt it was more in their range to be with the level C-2, in the classification range C-2 for those 3, just based off of their job responsibilities, as opposed to the when you compare with the job responsibilities in the level C-1. And so that's why we made that change.
So was a comparison made with other communities, anything to look at the positions, and how does that compare?
In the comparison in the ranges, like the pay ranges, yes. We did one with all three of those, right, Lindsay? And the C-2 falls more in line with Class 4. One thing we're finding, it was 1 year ago, the city went from Class 5 city to a Class 4 city. And so our comparisons now are with those cities that are population of 10,000 to 20,000 people instead of up to 10,000 people. And we're trying to make the adjustments to catch up to the classification 4 city.
But I was just trying to see if that background had been done. The other thing is with the proposal of the recorder's position, adding additional staff and splitting the duties because of the work overload, quite frankly. How does this address that?
We would approve that the last meeting in June when we approved the budget, the final budget. You could take those out at this point if you wanted to, so we didn't put that in this compensation plan. But we always
Okay.
bring it at the last meeting too, because those pay ranges increase, but our COLA increases too.
Based off whatever the COLA range is.
Great, so we'll discuss it at that time as to whether it's a C2 or what level.
Yeah, and I'll do
Position.
salary surveys to see where they fit in pay ranges too.
Great, thank you so much.
Thank you
Oh,
for the-
one other
oh, no.
question that I had. In that same document, it shows a recreation and community events manager. Do we have such a position?
We did. I don't think it's filled right now. It
Yeah.
was back, right, before he got moved to the,
To the Parks and Recreation Director, yeah. So,
don't have an FTE.
right, it's not filled. We have a job description for it, but we don't have any funding for it, if that makes sense.
So
So
there's-
at one point, the city had a recreation and events manager. We don't currently have that, as we have 2 recreation coordinators and the Parks and Recreation Director instead.
So at this point, there's no intent to post or fill that position?
No, no, because we don't have funding for it.
Great, thank you.
So Mark, I'd like to make are you guys ready?
Are we ready to go forward? Yeah.
I'd like to make a motion that we adopt Resolution 24-23. I'd also like to add that motion that there was one about the Public Works Director position, whatever.
Assistant.
As we'd like to move that to a full-time position. So put the budget in for that and make that an Assistant Public Works Director to work under Paul.
Okay.
I second it, yeah.
Motion made by Brett and seconded by both Lyle and Blair. This is a resolution, so we'll start over here with you, Wes.
West Eye.
Brett, aye.
Lyle Vance, aye. Blair, aye.
Jeff Ode.
Thank you. Motion passes. Item number B, and I might just make one comment. The budget this year, there will be, we have funds in the budget to cover all of these expenses. There would be no, just to put it out there, there's no intent to do any, no tax increase or anything like that. So this is, just think it's important to make note of. A discussion and consideration of adopting resolution number 24-24, adopting the revised compensation and classification plan. Again, this is something we discussed in our work session. Council?
This wasn't discussed much in the work session. Councilmember Hope brought it up. And mostly it takes out the police, I guess it was discussed in the work session.
Well, that's what I was thinking was the police.
A majority of it was, because it mostly addresses that, but I did wanted to point out that there were a few different titles as we looked in the job responsibilities and compensation amongst other entities. We made a couple of adjustments with job titles and where they fall in the classification plan, so.
Questions, council?
I'd like to thank Mark, thanks for doing this, and for keeping it without raising taxes. Thank you so much. I'd like to make a motion, we adopt Resolution 24-24 as
Second.
stated.
Motion made by Brett, Councilmember Rhodey, and seconded by Councilmember Holt. Let's see, Brett?
Brett, aye.
Lyle Vance, aye. Blair, aye.
Jeff Vogt, aye.
West Eye.
Thank you, everybody. Motion passes. Discussion and consideration of adopting resolution number 24-25, awarding the 2024 1000 North Road Construction Widening Phase 2 project to Staker Parsons. Paul?
Yeah, this has been a long time coming for the council knows. And, you know, it's a big undertaking to do the whole project, so council has wisely phased it in. And this will be actually the second phase of a bigger project that started back in 2014, I think it was, we did the first section. We had 6 bidders. You can see the bids there. Our engineer's estimate was $1.94 million. Our low bidder came in at $1.64. Our next was $1.644. I mean, so you can see how close the first 3 were, and then the other ones come in there. And so Staker Parsons is a low bid, and they're qualified. They've done multiple jobs for the city in the past, and so I would recommend we award that to Staker Parsons. There will be a little bit of a change in cost. We're in the middle of reworking our standard for our asphalt mix. What the company has just started doing, it's called RAP. It's when they recycle the asphalt, they grind it up, and then they would just give it away. Well, asphalt companies learned that it had some value, so they started taking it and mixing it in the mix and then selling it as their normal asphalt. But what we find is there's not enough oil in it. It becomes crumbly and doesn't hold up. And so we were in the process of changing our mix standard. So for this project, it'll probably add on about $20,000 to $25,000 because we're going to require them to put more oil in that asphalt. If they use the wrap, which is okay, but they just need to add oil, their philosophy was, well, we're using this asphalt that already has oil in it. Well, depending on the age of the asphalt, the oil's usually evaporated over the years. So anyway, so that'll be taking place. Another thing just to keep in mind is we have talked about shutting that road down, at least the lower section, because the problem is they work to widen and to put the utilities in. There's no shoulder really to push the traffic to. So so we're gonna make them go around and come down Main Street either from the freeway or that service road that goes down. So there's always a way out, and it'll only be for the local homeowners right there at the section. And that's for safety and speed of the project. So just so, be aware, we're gonna put it out there for publication. It'll start after school is out, so that won't affect the buses. Probably the only day-to-day user it'll affect is the mail carrier. And they'll probably, if they can, be able to work with the mail carrier, but just so you might get some complaints.
How long do you think?
We've given them 30 days that they could possibly shut that down, because, I mean, they have a lot of utility work, curb and gutter, and there's just no shoulder as we go. I mean, that was part of the problem. We had to get easements, what's called slope easements. We're not taking property, but we've had to buy those easements so that we can reconstruct people's driveways and their landscaping to taper into that wider road section. So that's what one of the things that took so long is we had to get all those easements signed and in place and negotiated. So, any questions? Okay, it should start up around June 1st by the time you award it and they get all their bonding and their insurance and stuff in place. So that's what we're kind of looking at, the 1st of June.
I'm really thankful that we're able to go forward with this project, but more than me, I'm sure that the local residents are very, very grateful that this is going to be finally be completed after all these years. So we're so happy for that.
that we adopt resolution number 24-25.
Motion
I'll
by,
second it.
by Lyle Vance and seconded by Wes Eastep. Let's see, Lyle, you're up.
Lyle Vance, aye.
Blair, aye.
Jeff Odi.
West, aye.
Brett, aye. Motion passes. Thank you, everybody. Okay, discussion and consideration of adopting resolution number 24-26, amending, let's see, appointing Dustin Cordova as the police chief and approving the terms and conditions of a police chief agreement between Tremonton City and Dustin Cordova.
So is this only a yearly contract?
No, this one? So this would be, signing this, he gives 2 years to the city, and then it would be indefinite after that. And so he hasn't had a contract in the past, and so this is the first contract with him. And in an effort to retain him and to provide, provide security for Dustin to be our police chief, and then a little bit of security for the city, to have him for, a couple of years under the employment terms. We felt that, Dustin requested this contract, and we felt it good. I reached out to a couple other cities that do this, and they felt comfortable, and where he has already been our chief for a couple of years, and we know what we're getting with him, we'd love to retain him, and this was a way that we could come to agreements on that.
Council, do you have any questions for?
I make a motion, we pass resolution 24-26, adopting the Dustin Cordova as the police chief.
Second. Motion by Blair. Did I hear a second? Second by Councilman Jeff Houghton. And let's see, Blair, you're up.
Blair, aye.
Jeff Odi.
West, aye.
Brett, aye.
Lyle Vance, aye, and thanks to Chief. We're glad you're here.
Yeah, we do appreciate very much everything you guys do, the whole department has accomplished. Item number E, discussion and consideration of adopting ordinance number 24-06, amending zoning regulations relating to the River's Edge overlay zone and the River's Edge Master Development Agreement to accommodate the recordation and amendments to map 1.02 along with the front yard setback schedule. Mark, do you want to?
Yeah. Brett, were you at that plan commission? Would you mind speaking on this?
Yeah. I kind of like what they're thinking on this, and I thought River's Edge was kind of creative in what they did on this. The overlay allows for multi-housing, a combination of apartments and townhouses. Well, they wanted to pull them all into the same zone with the apartments in the middle and the townhouses on the outside to help give it a little bit more appealing look. And I thought it was great. I thought that was a really a good thing because it's not adding any more apartments. It's not adding anything more to the overlay. It's just allows them to put those townhouses in front of the apartments. And the other thing is all the parking will be behind, so there won't be any parking out on the streets. So I thought it was a pretty a cool overlay. And it passed unanimously with the Planning Commission.
You want to follow that up there? Council, are there any other questions for Brett or Mark?
No, we don't have it. Do you have a picture of that?
I just have an overview of the map. Did you have the
And that kind of shows up there.
elevations at all? Like a photo? You showed me those that first meeting we had.
So the purple ones are what they're talking about, okay? So they'll be on both sides of the park and apartments in the middle with the townhouses on the outside.
But before, the part at the top was all townhomes. And then the left part of the bottom purple square was all apartments, and the right side was all townhomes. Now, they're trying to intermingle the apartments and townhomes to kind of break the socioeconomical barriers as well. So it's not like you live in the apartments, we live in the townhomes. And then the frontage will be similar between the townhomes and the apartments, and it will kind of just all blend together. So they had some elevations that showed kind of a picture of what it might look like, and I thought they looked really good, so.
Okay, council?
So I think it's important, and we talked about this a lot, it is not changing the number of units. That remains the same. It just where they're organized and where they're at.
I like the idea that, I mean, we have enough problems of parking on the roads. So
Yeah.
that helps with that.
So I'll make a motion, we adopt ordinance 20, am I on the right one?
Yep.
2406?
24-06, amending that overlay.
Motion by Wes. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Lyle Vance. Let's see, Blair, is it you? Or, Jeff, you're up.
Jeff Odi.
West side.
Brett, aye.
Lyle Vance, aye.
Blair, aye.
Motion passes. Thank you, everybody. Let's see, item number 11, the consent agenda. We'll just kind of go through the three, and let's see, discussion and consideration of adopting resolution number 24-27. This is ratifying the Bear River Manor Site Plan Development Agreement. And do I just go through all three of them, or should we?
All three can be done on the same motion. Again, development agreements come, everything within the development agreement are administrative changes, or not changes, but administrative decisions for the staff to make. So nothing here was outside of the land use code. And so we're able to negotiate development agreements based off of what's within our.
Where's this at? Bear River Manor side?
Bear River Manor is the old care center, yep.
The old care center.
Hospital. Mhm.
Kelly Harris and his daughter have that one.
And then the other two are just our monthly financial statements and warrant registers. So.
The warrant register and the financial statements. We can do this with one motion, council?
I'll make go ahead.
Do we make a motion to accept the consent agenda? Is that what we decided? Okay, I'll make a motion, we approve the consent agenda.
I'll second it.
Motion by Wes and seconded by Brett. All in favor?
Aye.
Probably just because there's a resolution inside.
Oh,
of it.
there's a resolution in there. Okay, Wes, you're up.
West side.
Brett, aye.
Lyle Vance, aye.
Blair, aye.
Jeff Odi.
Motion passes for the consent agenda. Let's see, let's move on to the calendar items. Do we have any, let's see, what have we got coming up here? Farmers market?
So,
Oh, yeah, the city manager.
yeah, we'll be doing, screening out a lot of applicants for the city manager position on Thursday. But we would like the council to be involved in the final round of city manager interviews. So May 15th, is that what we decided, the Wednesday? Because Tuesday, the police are doing a banquet, the police department banquet, the mayor would really like to be at, and Lindsay also. And Thursday is our town hall meeting, so it's a week full of city hall meetings, but I guess I should have put that on there too. May 16th is the town hall meeting.
Do we know the times on Wednesday that we need to be here?
So it depends on how many we filter it down to,
Okay.
but we could do a start time. Do you want to do it during the day or?
Well, I was hoping we can do it there. Is it something we can do during the day on the 15th? How is that with everybody?
I'm out
No,
on
you're
Wednesday.
out
Yeah.
part of the day. But just a part of the day, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm out from 2 to 4:30 and 6:30 on.
What if we figured on like 5 o'clock in the evening? Would that work for everybody to try to start at 5?
For interviews?
Well, I'm just thinking.
I'm good at 5.
I'm just trying to get everybody.
Trying to get
so
everybody-
can be involved.
I'm good anytime.
That would be better for me too.
I need to check one thing, but I think so.
Okay. All right, so tentatively, let's plan on 5 o'clock on the 15th. And then the town hall on the 16th, 7 o'clock, right?
6.
6 o'clock.
Yeah.
6 o'clock PM on the 16th. And that'll be at the senior center like it was before.
Yeah, and then we've got it all out on the public sites, right?
Yeah, I've seen it on the fairgrounds one. I don't know.
Okay,
I've seen it on that one.
okay,
No, the agenda's not posted yet, but it's.
correct.
Yeah.
But we're getting the announcement out. Okay,
Who ended up with the paperwork on that?
I've got it.
You got it? We need to get.
When
it
will the
back.
rest of us be apprised of what's going on?
oh, anytime,
Please do.
you bet.
In fact, I'd be available anytime, just let me know, and, or the rest of us as well. So.
All there was a big brainstorming.
Yeah. And then, and you're available on the 18th, correct? Or the 16th at 6 o'clock?
Yes, and what will that be about? What's the theme?
We're just going to continue the same discussion. We talked about ideas, but we didn't prioritize yet, so we're going to continue that process. Hopefully get it down to some priorities. Yeah.
City council on the 21st. We can kind of go through there. Let's see. Final budget on the 18th, so that's going to be important.
Anybody gonna be here? Anybody got plans on the 18th? Okay, just making sure. We had a couple on vacation once and had to call from Alaska
Yeah.
on the 18th.
Oh, that was for the, yeah,
Yeah.
but we were on.
You was there.
National holiday. It's my birthday.
Happy birthday.
Make note of that, Lindsay.
No,
I would come.
Okay.
happy birthday.
Mugs and bananas on the 22nd. That'll be a great big thing. I forgot to mention the farmer's market on the 1st. Felt like the first farmer's market of the season was a grand success, and we appreciate all the efforts that went into putting all of that together. Let's see, scroll up a little bit there and let's see what else we got. And heydays, 19th through the 20th of July. Great. All right. Council, is there any unfinished business we need to discuss?
I have one. We discussed changing the definition of a public park and a community gathering area, and that was supposed to be on this council meeting. I failed to realize that changing a land use ordinance requires a public hearing and the posting for public hearings. So that will be on Planning Commission next Tuesday, and then
Okay.
and then City Council in 2 weeks. So.
Thank you. Let's see, city administration reports and comments. Mark, do you have anything for us?
One thing I don't see Zach here, but the city received the best estate in public art again this year. I think it's 8 or
Years in a
9
row,
times.
this.
Wow.
This is-
Yeah, we missed 1 year. For some reason, we didn't get it 1 year, but we got it, I think, 8 or 9 times now. So. That's all I have.
Okay, let's see, department reports. Let's see, Chief Cordova?
Okay, so one thing I want to update the council on was the school security requirement we're going to have. I did some research. We actually sat down with the chief over all of this for the state. The good news is most of this is going to fall on the school to staff that position. We will assist with the training. We're trying to coordinate that with Brigham right now for all these different schools to make sure we meet that standard. So a lot of it won't really fall on us. They need to kind of fund that position, and we're just going to help with the training and making sure that we communicate and we're going to try to go above what the state requires as far as the training's concerned so that they can act accordingly if an emergency happens. So that was good news. Fair Parade, we made a couple changes. We met with the county Biggest thing is safety. I coordinated with the fire chief as well, and essentially we're going to try to keep people safe, if possible, rope off the area as a do not cross so we don't have kids running in. When we debriefed this last year, we did have a lot of kids getting some close calls, and that would be the worst possible situation. If you look it up online, you can see multiple examples of that. So we're doing everything we can. Brigham's agreed to send their bike unit, so we have more cops there. But I think it's good. We've been working well with them, and hopefully the changes will make it a little safer. Last three things, positive stuff. We've gotten 3 grants this year. The Know Your Forest grant, we were approved for that. We're going to start that program pretty soon. We got 7,400, I believe, on that. Jason Reed, 4,700, and the highway grant is somewhere around 18,500. So doing pretty good. These are all state grants, so they're not as much, they're not as challenging as the federals. So, any questions for the police department? Cool. Thank you, council.
Thank you.
One thing, chief, are they gonna have the lemonade competition again?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to reach out
Who's the
to,
sponsor
I
that?
mean,
It ought to be us when you.
yeah,
How you showed everybody up last year, we'll show them how to do it.
yeah, maybe Brigham doesn't want to go around too, but we'll see, we'll see.
Very good. Let's see. Chief Hansen, are you here? There you go.
Just a couple things. First of all, publicly thank you for the budget support, for the direction of supporting the proposed budget where we're at. I know there's still details being worked through, but we feel very supported. I wanted to be able to acknowledge that the fire department's not asking for any new full-time positions this year. We're really trying hard to focus on retaining and utilizing our part-time personnel to carry as much of that load as we possibly can. And as long as we can do that, then we're going to stay kind of status quo. We're going to try as hard as we can. But the addition of getting a couple hours a day from Haley has been just monumental change for me personally, and able to focus on other things. So even though it's just a little bit, it's still helping a lot. So I think we support that decision. And as the chief said, that we are working on a plan for the parade. At the request of the group running the parade, I'm working on a written incident action plan that'll kind of create the rules and I think give us some liability protection by having a written safety plan for that event as well. So, and that was really at the prompt and the leadership of the police chief at that time. So that's all, unless you have questions for me.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Appreciate you guys very much, everything that you do for our community. Let's see, Paul, did you have anything else you wanted to share?
I'd probably update you a little bit on the projects. Secondary Service Area 4, which you know is right around here, it's about 90% complete, which is really well ahead of schedule. They're starting to patch the asphalt. The only services left to put in are around the school, and they're kind of hoping to wait till school's out to get them in. Canal's a little bit behind's coming in. That's not controlled by me, which you understand it's wet, and so they had projects they wanted to get complete. Our EQ basin, the equalization basin on Central Canal, it's almost 100% complete. We're waiting on the canal company to have their people install the slip meters, which are the big gates that control the water coming in and out. And since they were behind, they kind of pushed us to the end of, so we were probably a couple weeks away before that basin's functioning. But other than that, the guys are just, running the wheels off the sweeper as they have time.
Can you
Councilman?
tell us when the secondary water system will go on?
Well, that's what I was saying. They're behind schedule. Usually the canal goes in the 1st of May. They pushed it back to the 6th. We got all that rain over the weekend. So I'm sure their board, which are made up of farmers, said, let's push it back a few more days. So every morning I get up, I go out if it's not in the central, I go to east to see if that's where, because it comes from the east going to the west when they start putting the canal system in. So, I'm at their, because the last communication they told me is it would be in on the 6th, which was Monday.
Conceptually, any day.
So any day, I'm sure they pushed it back because they had some work to finish up and the farmers didn't need the water with the rain they had coming down. So they kept more in storage up in Bear Lake, which makes sense. But
Same thing every year. We don't know it's here till it's coming down.
Till it's, yeah.
They never tell
Yeah.
us.
Wake up in the morning and the canals are full. That's when you know it's for sure. And then we will wait 2 or 3 days before we start bringing it in. So it pushes all the kosher weeds, all the debris south, so we don't pull it through our pump stations and weed seeds into people's property and stuff, so, okay?
Yeah, go ahead.
I apologize. I forgot something that was pertinent and I was excited to tell you. I officially have moved into the valley now, so I forgot, I should have brought that up, thank you. We're about 7 miles from the station in Riverside, and found just an idealistic location for both my wife and I, and so wanted to thank the council for giving me some time when I accepted the position, but we were able to do it at a faster pace than we thought, and we're done, and we're still living in boxes, but we have a home, and it's a beautiful spot, and we're very happy.
Good.
Thank you.
And if I can add on to that, he would have been here on time that morning, except his chicken coop blew over in the wind. He had to go gather up all his chickens, put them in his garage, and then build another chicken coop. So.
Let's see. Sarah, did you have anything for us?
Also on the calendar events, we have our Chalk Festival on June 22nd.
Why don't you come up and, I know you don't want to, but the recorder's not going to be able to hear what you said.
Just for calendar events, on the 22nd of June is also the Chalk Art Festival at Midland Square. So the same, earlier in the day that of the cars. So,
Oh, the mugs and bananas that day too?
yeah, that evening.
The theme should be like 70s cars or something.
I ask Zach. I don't know. I just know it's that date and I'm supposed to be there. So, and probably a couple of you guys too. So,
All right, very good. Did I miss anybody? Okay, council reports. Jeff?
The library board met on April the 10th and had a good meeting. Security checks are one of the key things as they're modifying some of the requirements on the security checks. And that's all I have.
I just want to say, I stopped by the farmer's market, and I spend a lot of time in Idaho in the winter and the summer, so I haven't been there very much, but I was pleasantly surprised, had a couple of visits with some veterans. Had one of my grandsons that day for baseball, and we went and looked at the stuff, the names on the plaques, and I seen several families doing that. Me personally, I think your people come in for two different things, and I think it doesn't distract from it all. I know the sign that they put up that we put up that says to keep it civil and respectful, that helped a lot, so I just think that was a great job.
I want to report a little bit more about the economic development. We've been kind of looking forward. We had met with the Ken Gardner Institute, the quasi entity down there with the University of Utah. And anyway, we had contacted and set with them, and we were hoping that they would help us with numbers for our area. Coming from a banking background and that type of stuff, franchises won't even consider looking at giving out a franchise unless there's at least 25,000 people in the area. And what's been really, really hard, especially from a banking standpoint, is those people come in and do a study on the area. And Tremont's got maybe 12,000 people right now. And of course, they don't even want to talk to the franchise people at that point. And so we've been trying to prove to them and document what our economic area is. Of course, we all live here. We all know that people come from one side of the valley from the other side and do their commerce here in Tremont outside our limits. So anyway, they did through zip codes. They gave us a number here of how many people live in the zip code areas that we had defined. And without spending a lot of time on it, they had defined 20,000 people in our market area. And they told us that they can't define what our economic area is, because when you take a look at this thing, in the Box Elder County unincorporated area, there was another 10,000, almost 11,000 people. I know there's more than 25,000 people coming here, but we could never get over that hump, with the franchises. So this has kind of went by the wayside, the Ken Gardner Institute. But yet tonight, I sat with Mark and Lyle, and there has been a company, I forgot their names.
Placer AI.
Placer AI. This is something we're starting to look into that looked really, really interesting. We need to spend some more time looking into it and that type of stuff. But they were able to take these cell phones. This is scary to me. This is how they did it. 8% of the people is what they told us never opt out of saying, I don't want you knowing where I'm going. They just say, go ahead and watch what I'm doing, and they watch. So anyway, what they do is they can take a look at our area, and they call them hotspots and that type of stuff. They can tell who comes into our area and where they go. And it was only like a half hour we were looking at this thing. It was blowing my mind away. But with these numbers, we might be able to document to the banks and so on to be able to help people that want to invest into quick foods, restaurants, and that type of stuff to bring a little bit more retail into our area. We all want that. So anyway, we're still trying to head in a direction to try to keep that coming, keep the ideas going to try to help the economic part of our valley grow. So that's it for right now.
I was just thankful for our town hall meeting. I thought we had good representation from a lot of different people. I think I felt like it was a good discussion, and I'm excited to see where we go in the future with this. But I appreciate the community coming and supporting us on this. It's good stuff.
Yes.
Just what everybody else has said. I think, we're gaining ground, I hope, all that kind of stuff. Got a setback with the dumpsters that was out. I think we need to put a little more control on that, but I'm gonna work that up in the next couple of months when I get the bill and things like that. But yeah, the farmer's market was great, town hall meeting was great. It's good to see this many people here because we care and you care, and I think we're just gonna keep moving forward.
There you go. I want to second what everybody said here. Just a little tag on to what Lyle was saying. On this presentation we had, just an example of what we were looking at. We were looking at restaurants and kind of a supply and demand sort of a situation with restaurants in Tremonton. And what they came up with is that there is a shortage of restaurants, and to the tune of like hundreds and hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of dollars that we're foregoing, that people are going someplace else to eat and not eating here in Tremonton. That's just one of the many things that they were able to come up with this to kind of give us an idea of where things are going. They looked at the county fair and, what was it, the 107,000 people or so forth that attend the county fair and what that impact has on the Tremonton economy, downtown economy and everything. And they can bring all that up. And it's really been interesting. One other thing I wanted to kind of say is invite everybody to our Memorial Day celebration. I don't know if it's a celebration or what it is, but anyway, it's our Memorial Day celebration on May 27th. We're excited as we could be about this one. There's going to be some new stuff over there at the fair, at the cemetery. to do with the Borgstrom brothers. And Governor Cox will be there. So we're way excited about that day and want to make sure everybody marks that down on their calendars. May t- Did I say it wrong?
Saturday, the 25th.
No, it's Monday. It's Monday.
27.
Monday, is that the 27th? That's the 27th, isn't it?
They're
Yeah,
gonna pay me not to go to work, but I won't be there, but I won't.
anyway, much thanks to the Public Works Department for all they're doing to make this possible. They're going above and beyond to make it possible. So with that, council, is there anything else we need to discuss? Then I would entertain one more motion.
Motion, we adjourn.
Second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Don't go away. We have an RDA. Sorry. But we'll make it brief. We'll make it very brief.
Can we go ahead and open it up?
Yeah.
I make a motion, that we open the redevelopment agency meeting.
I'll second it.
Motion by Lyle and seconded by Wes. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, we will move into our RDA. This is, let's see, approval of the agenda. Council,
Make a motion that we approve the agenda as written.
motion by Lyle Vance. Any second?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Blair. All in favor?
Aye.
Approval of the minutes from January 16, 2024.
I'll make a motion, we accept the minutes.
Okay, motion by Wes, second.
I'll second it.
Second by Brett. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, public hearing on consideration of adopting the tentative budget entitled the Tremont City Redevelopment Agency Tentative Implementation Budget 2024 to 2025 for Fund 71, RDA number 2, District number 2, Downtown and West Tremont and West Liberty Foods, EDA 172 for the period commencing July 1, 2024 and ending June 30, 2025. Public hearing is now open. Okay, public hearing is closed. New business, discussion and consideration of adopting resolution number RDA 2407, adopting the tentative budget entitled the Redevelopment Agency of Tremont City Tentative Implementation Budget 2024 to 2025 for Fund 71, RDA District Number 2, Downtown and Tremont and West Liberty Foods, EDA 172 for the period commencing July 1, 2024 and ending June 30, 2025. So are there any?
So this was brought up earlier, and this was simply 2 lines. Okay, the RDA downtown, which is $685,000 is put aside. And then the RDA Fund 73, which is the 1 million that we can use for moderate to low-income housing. And so, just so you know, that's
That's what we're talking
That's what we're
about here.
talking
So
about.
that increases the RDA for downtown Main Street.
15%.
The Main Street one, 15%?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, so by $60,000. So it's not been earmarked for anything other than it's just in there for us to use.
Right.
So with that, I'd like to make a motion that we adopt resolution
Gotta pull it back up.
2407.
2407,
Oh.
RDA 2407, as written.
I second it.
Motion by Brett and seconded by Lyle Vance. All in favor? Oh, no, let's see.
Wes,
Wes,
aye.
Red eye.
Lyle Vance, aye.
Blair, aye.
Jeff O'Day. Motion passes. Thank you, everybody. We have one more motion. Go make it, Brett. Come on.
I make a motion we adjourn.
All right. All in favor? Aye. Okay. Thank you, everybody.
Second.
I seconded it. Lindsay needs a second. I don't.
I know, sorry.
Curtis, you gotta give us some notice when you're gonna bail too, so we can figure out who the hell. Isn't he? He's here as long as you are?
We talked about the last time I was out here, son of blood.
Oh, okay.
There you go. Okay, well, we'll take blood, we'll take skin, whatever.
We just said priorities in
All it really was the brainstorm of different things.
You did a good job.
So how are we gonna get 25,000, Lyle?
Yeah, because tonight, all day, we're out and just.
So that's all good.
Okay, thanks.
2 million. Any questions? It's 2 million. Oh, to your grant. When are you gonna hear about that?
He'll keep us in the loop.
What was the appropriations people, but he sits on, I mean, I never did hear appropriations meetings he had were just on his own. I never got briefed on them either.
That'd be phenomenal.
So, I mean, I don't know.
Every time you talk to the public, that's all I'm doing is talking to the public. I
Well, I
mean,
know.
we don't report it, all of us on, gee, we talked to the public about this.
Well, I'm just asking.
At the excess. That's perfect.
That was one of them, yeah. And again, I'm looking at those to help me figure out, how do I vote on issues? And the pieces are starting to come together.
You're doing payroll, like I said, I don't care about
Meeting.
it.
At first, quite frankly, the first two is like, so how does this, and how do I correlate that with other discussions I have with people?
Take care of them.
State surveys and other things. And it all started to come together at this last one. So the first meeting,
That's right.
not a huge majority, but the majority of people are okay
I'm
with
doing
it.
payrolls like.
Population growth. The second meeting, we talked about what's great, what needs fixed. Third meeting on annexations, overwhelming opposition to annexations. And then it made me think about the survey that the league shared with us.
Natural thing.
So I went and got the actual survey and talked to the people who did the survey. And they split it up between urban areas and rural areas. And in rural areas, the majority, not a huge one, but the majority, they're okay with the population growth, but you keep it within the city, within the common areas now, not expanding city property. And it's like, because I didn't get it at first. How could they be okay with the population growth and then so opposed to the annexations? It didn't make any sense to me at first. And then it's like, and we're down there at the conference, and they just had a little flyer that didn't tell you much of anything about the survey, but then it made me go home and back out and go through it. Well, yeah, that made sense to me. So for me, it gives me some guidance.